Tyler? Oh, there we go. We're going to start with the Rancho Bernardo Nigun, which Cantor Natalie wrote with a group of women who went to the women's retreat years ago. And we all sat around and came up with this tune. So here we go, Rancho Bernardo Nigun. Yai lai 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 ya lai 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 la lai yai lai 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 la lai ya lai 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 la lai yai la lai lai yai la lai yai la lai yai la lai lai yai la lai yai la lai lai yai la lai yai la lai yai la lai 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 la lai yai lai 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 la lai yai lai 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 la lai yai lai 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 la lai yai lai 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 la lai yai la lai lai yai la lai yai la lai yai la lai lai yai la lai yai la lai lai yai la 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 lai lai la lai yai la lai yai la lai lai la lai yai la lai.
And with these beautiful notes, I want to welcome all of you to our Shabbat today. This is a kind of Shabbat that has a name. It's called Shabbat Shirah, Shabbat of the song. And I'll explain a lot more about that later. But before I do, a couple of quick little housekeeping announcements, which I'm being reminded to tell you. And that is restrooms to the right and left of the main door here, and cell phones off, and that's it. Welcome. So it's not only Shabbat Shirah today, which I'm really going to talk about later, but it's also one day after Tu B'Shvat. Yesterday was Tu B'Shvat, which is the 15th day of the month of Shvat, which in Israel is the official start of spring. And what's nice about it is that the almond trees bloom, and if you know anything about the gorgeous blossoms of almond trees, they're pink and beautiful, and they have a nice scent and so on. And spring really does spring with them. And so today I figure, let's think two things. One is the fact that it's Shabbat Shirah, which is the Shabbat of song. So let music permeate our entire bodies. Sing along. By the way, if you don't see me sing along, it's only because the gorgeous voice here has these magnificent high notes, which I no longer own. I used to. I now own the ones down there. So if I don't sing along, still the invitation for you to join is ongoing. Okay, so don't watch my non-singing. It's only because inside I am singing, but I can't do it out. Okay? There, you know. Anyhow, let's now feel the wonderfulness of being together here. Every week, the idea is when you come in that door, just leave behind the weekday stuff for at least the hour. Just drop it. Just drop it. And let your mind just gear to things of the soul. And what more beautiful thing of the soul is to feel that we are here together for one and the same purpose: to love Shabbat, to honor Shabbat, and to really feel privileged to be able to do it together. Hine ma tov.
And together in community, which is kulanu biyachad, right?
Kulanu beyachad.
I love
You
that
betcha.
phrase. Hine matov, how good it is to be together. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. How good it is to be together. Together as one in love, joy, and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. Kulanu biyachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. How good it is to be together. Together as one in love, joy, and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. Kulanu biyachad.
Are we? There we are. Let's call up Marcy. Please rise. Have a seat. As I have mentioned some other services, the part that we're doing now is the warm-up to the real service, which will start with the Baruch. And the warm-up is wonderful. And it really started in the 16th century in the city of Tzfat. The Kabbalists, or mystics at that time, decided to act out the drama of bride and groom by going out to the field. And so they did that. They acted out the bride and groom, and there was born the beautiful poem Lecha Dodi, which means, "Go, my beloved." And so we have the bride and groom scenario, which started that many hundreds of years ago. And what they would do is they would sing 7 different psalms leading up to the one that was the last psalm, Psalm 92, 93, where the words are, boi kala, come you bride. And so, interestingly, that beautiful tradition, in a sense, has remained with us because we are still doing it. We are, in fact, rising at the last verse and facing the door to welcome the kala, boi kala, come, O you bride, come, O you bride. And the actual warm-up section, which is a little bit abbreviated here, there is indeed one containing those very same 7 psalms that they started to sing at that time. So it's really beautiful to do that. So putting you into the mood of romance, love is in the air because bride and groom are in the room. Lecha Dodi. Page, what? 18?
Page 18.
18.
Yes. Verse 1, which is Shamor v'Zachor. Shamor v'Zachor b'dibur echad hishmiyanu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet Shabbat. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ha'aseh v'machshava.
שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה. Come on, yalalai, yalalai, lecharogi, yalalai, lekrakala, yalalai, pnei Shabbat, nikavela, yalalai, lecharogi, yalalai, lekrakala, yalalai, pnei Shabbat, nikavela. And now we're going to rise and face the door so that we can welcome the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'sola, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala. Last time. Yalalai, yalalai, lecharogi, yalalai, lekrakala, yalalai, pnei Shabbat, nikavela, yalalai, lecharogi, yalalai, lekrakala, yalalai, pnei Shabbat, nikavela.
Page 22. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה ובזמן קריב. ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
Please stay standing for Baruch.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamevorach, hamevorach leolam vaed. Please be seated. Yes, we're on God of Creation, page 26. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun, you unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai Amariv Aravim. Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Israel. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of your life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Before we do the Shema, I sort of have a habit of always saying something about the Shema. And even though that is the one line we all know very well and know best and can say with our eyes closed. And that's really why I do that, because I have this fear, so now you know one of my things, that it would be taken too automatically. We know it, we say it, and don't think about it enough. So I've said all kinds of things about it. Over the years, I've told the story about Rabbi Akiva. Remember how he was tortured by the Romans. I think the other day I might have said to you, or to someone, that I felt that if Judaism were to be distilled into a single word, it is the word that ends the line of the Shema, Echad, one. That's it. It's all buried in that word. That's it. That makes us who we are as compared to who surrounds us. And so today I just wanted to give an example because it's something that I read recently, that I read before, but I was reminded of it again, of how not automatic it ever should be. There's endless stories of great things that happen with the Shema. Here's one little one, tiny one, but it tells it big. During World War II, as you know, children sometimes, if they weren't hauled into the camps with their parents, they were hidden. There were lots of hidden children who were hidden among Christian people who were nice and loving and took care of them for years. They were there for years. And then when the war was over, they were slowly helped to come back to their families, if any of those families were left. Sometimes none were left. But there was a problem sometimes, because when you're small and you spend 6 years somewhere, you almost forget the before. And you have taken on that which you have lived with. And how to then identify in groups of children those who were Jewish, little Jewish children who now are not so little, 6 years later. And they say that there were countless examples where someone would go into a group and just start, Shema Yisrael, and just see which child knew how to finish that sentence. And so many of them did, and thus be able to identify themselves as originally Jewish and be returned to loved ones in that way. And it was this line, this one line, the Shema did it. So it's very moving, and just so you know, never look at the Shema as just a line. Has never been, isn't, will never be just a line. And here we are, the Shema. I invite you to rise for the Shema, if that's your custom. If not, remain seated.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Have a seat.
We are on V'ahavta on page 31. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol vavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shokbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Before you do the Michamocha, I just noticed that I forgot to do something in the welcome. Welcome to those of you who are out there in cyberland. We do not want you to feel unwanted, neglected, or forgotten. We are very happy that you are with us, really, really. So welcome, even though a tad late, but no less heartfelt.
So why are we doing this version of Michamocha this week?
Because, as you will hear later, it is a Shabbat of song. And the song refers to the Song of the Sea, the song that the Israelites and Miriam and the women and everybody who had breath in their body sang and danced as a way of thanking God for being able to cross through the reeds sea on perfectly dry land. It was a miracle which deserved a magnificent song, and that's what gave Shabbat the name, and that is why we have selected this particular Michamocha, which I expect you all to join, even though it's very wordy and your teeth will fall out, but I want to see you singing.
All right, here we go. Yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 lai, lai, yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 lai, yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 lai, lai, yai, la, lai, lai, ya, la, 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot osef eleh, Torah tehilot osef eleh. Malachutecha ba'uvanecha, bokei elam livnei Moshe, Ze'eli amru ve'amru, Ze'eli amru ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one with sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman who touched the spirit and dances with the night. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea. The wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought that she would part with an outstretched hand, and who would pass the freedom to the promised land? And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 lai, lai, yai, lai, lai, la, lai, la, 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 lai, 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 la, lai, la, 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 lai, lai, la, 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 lai, lai, la, 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 lai.
And so, from the exuberance of dance to the restfulness, since we're tired, having danced so hard, to the restfulness of sleep, because the Hashkivenu, which is about to come, is a beautiful prayer in which we ask God to guard us, to watch over us while we sleep. In other words, we admit vulnerability and we want to be watched over, embraced. It's a very personal wish, almost for a parent. We are asking for that tabernacle of peace over us, which is like a blanket. And we are like that child looking up at a parent. Please watch over me. And that is the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Shamru. We're going to try a new one this week. This is by Alan Leader. We usually do the Roth film. We're gonna pull out all the stops tonight with Leader. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. 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 La'asod et haShabbat lidorotam berit olam, berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, vayinafash, vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat et haShabbat.
Good one. Really good. Nice. Fun. All right, I think we're opening our eyes now.
Yes, we're going to move into the silent Amidah. So please stand. I'm going to start it off, and then we're going to talk to God for a few minutes. And when you're done, sit down and we'll sing some more together.
By the way, the Amidah is on 45 and silently all the way to 59.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Yes, we will know that you are one. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Bechol be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
So, as we said earlier, today is Shabbat Shira, which happens to be a Shabbat extremely close to my heart for the reason that you can imagine, and that is the musical theme. In fact, that there are certain congregations, and we used to be among them, who made music a very big theme of that particular weekend. And so this Shabbat, in short, is music. And I just love it. The whole idea of music, you know, the notion that random notes floating around the air are strung together by divinely gifted souls. They're strung together from nothingness. I mean, they're just floating around, and they can come together to make amazing melodies. And even the silences between those notes that are strung together, the little white spaces, they're the ones that create the beat, the rhythm of the amazing melodies. So that whole idea is so mind-bogglingly magnificent. And so music, in short, is magic. And I've always said, God's most loving gift to us humans. Of all gifts we humans were given, music is the one. Our ancient leaders knew this too, because they assigned the beautiful poetry of the Psalms that they be set to music. And in ancient days, the Psalms in the big temple in Jerusalem had to be sung. So singing and worship went together from the very beginning. As you may recall, stories about Moses, very big figure in this story, had a speech impediment, remember? He couldn't talk well, right? Nonetheless, as the Torah tells us, he could sing. He sang, and everyone sang with him. So singing has become an organic and natural centerpiece to musical expression. And that, by the way, is why our profession of cantor came to be, because someone helps to lead song in worship, to make sure that the music, so integral to worship, is in fact present. One of the remarkable, beautiful things about music, if you think about it, especially if you sit in a group that is singing together. Sit in a group, wherever you are, even a women's retreat, you sit in a group that's singing together. It obliterates difference. It is the ultimate equalizer. It's the leveler of all levelers. Nothing sets apart what your station in life is, what your profession is, whatever might separate you elsewhere at different times. When we stand together singing, everything else is out because we are one. The sound we make is the one sound. We are together. And that's an open secret why singing together is such an important and beautiful thing. Because it's never about, do we sound good? Did we sing every note right? It's just that we do it and that we make the melody somehow. Music is so natural to the human soul that it is, in the words of a wonderful musician of today, many of you know Jean-Baptiste, who just has a documentary out about him, said, music is totally inevitable. Your soul needs it. And if you haven't already opened up to it, please do it because it's there for you. Now, the Talmud also gets into the music discussion with a very charming, almost fairy tale-ish midrash, in which we are taught that King Hezekiah, of one of the kings of the kingdom of Judah, was at one time, believe it or not, designated as a potential Messiah. He was that good. There weren't so many good kings at a certain period. Hezekiah was the golden one. He was that great. And yet, then he wasn't. And the rabbis explained why this almost assignment didn't take place. They say that it was God who made that decision, saying that it was not appropriate because, listen to this, this is a midrash. When King Hezekiah was very ill, it was God who healed him from his deadly illness. Hezekiah, when he was healed and recovered, spoke beautiful, heartfelt words of thanks to God for being healed. But, said our rabbis, he did not sing them to God. No one, said the rabbis, who does not sing would have the ability to bring redemption. That's how highly, said they, God values song. Interesting idea. By the way, think about it. The Israelite women, when the crossing of the Red Sea was done and they brought out the timbrels and their musical instruments to dance, the fact that they did that and brought their timbrels already shows, because how did they leave Egypt? In tremendous haste. Rush, rush, rush. The dough couldn't rise while we have matzah, right? And yet, with all the rushing and running, everybody remembered to pack their musical instruments because they knew that singing and dancing was really in our DNA, in the not just Jewish DNA, but in the human DNA. There's a great line, many great lines in the Song of Songs. One of them you sang before, it's Micha Mocha. Did you know that Micha Mocha comes from the Song of the Sea? That's where it comes from. But there's another fabulous line, probably another great favorite, and also has been set to endless numbers of wonderful melodies. It's Ozi vezimrat ya. And that means God is my strength and God is my song. And there it is, proof positive. God and song are one. That's it. God and song are one. I remember being told as a child that our family members, who were marched along with many millions to be slaughtered in the gas chambers, oftentimes did so singing together. And in particular, what they sang was, Ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin, be'emuna shleima, beviat HaMashiach, beviat HaMashiach ani ma'amin. ואף על פי שיתמהמה, עם כל זאת אני מאמין. I believe with complete faith in the coming of the Messiah, said they marching. And even though he may tarry, still I believe. They sang in the face of imminent, unknown, or even known death, allowing their souls to rise up at that moment of ultimate down. They marched forward as their higher selves because of that. They were elevated by faith and elevated by song. That is the power of music. So the song of the sea has become the song of our souls. And music is the gift that gives wings to the soul, makes it fly. That's what happens to the soul when you allow yourself to dive into the music and just let it wash over you. It can be slow, gentle, almost hushed, softly soothing an aching heart. It can be rhythmic and quick, filled with power and urgency, and all modes in between. It heals, it elevates, it nourishes, because as we now know for sure, God and music are one. It's in the song of the sea. And therein lies the great magic of this moment, of this Shabbat Shirah. So I say to you, keep singing or keep listening or keep dancing. Surrender heart, soul, or body to music. It brings God in every time. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yasher koach.
And so, talking about healing, I think the next thing we're going to do, in fact, is our healing prayer, the Misheberach. And so I invite us here and all those of you at home to say out a name for whom you wish this prayer to be sung, which we'll do in a moment. You can declare it into the room, or you can even just think it, whichever you want. So is there anyone for whom you wish to? Let me see if I can hear. I hear nothing. Marcy's finger. I'm definitely saying it from Marcy's finger. Yes. Thank you so much.
Where's Carol?
Join in.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha liavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And so now I am remembering that we have to stand
Yes.
for the song that's coming next, because it's an Aleinu which sneaks up on you. You know, for Aleinu you have to stand and face the ark, and this is a gorgeous version, which last time I missed the fact that you had to. So go ahead.
We're going to stand right now, and then we won't miss it.
Right.
Here we go. Sometimes I lay under the moon, I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Ve'nemar ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu, bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo. One day, 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 one day.
And so, actually, you can sit down now, even though I'll be standing. We've come to the point where we're going to remember loved ones who have left us. We mourn the recent loss of Victoria Levine, beloved mother of our member Joel Levine. Cynthia Ray, beloved cousin of our member Iris Rosenfeld. And Frank Gray, beloved father of our member Claudine Levine. And Shalom ben Moshe, beloved uncle of our member Yoni Pellman. We continue to remember our members' parents who died this past year. Morton Bramson, Martin Cole, Pauline Kaplan, Esther Shapiro, Libby Zweig. This week we observe the following yahrzeits. These names reflect the current week from last Sunday to this Shabbat. If your custom is to observe the week going forward, please say the name of your loved one as we go around the room. Is there some name you wish to add to the Kaddish that we're about to recite? Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Okay. So the following names: Esther Arzt, Harold Barger, John Simon Berman, Lyle Bolton, Albert Bragg, Solomon Brandwain, Aaron Brunswick, Carmen Cohen, Charles Dartort, Wilbur Diamond, Kurt Drexler, Ethel Ellison, Miguel Ezroy, Robert Joseph Frank, Rena Frank, Isaac Goldberg, Morton Goldfader, Sherman Gringus, Bonnie Hagmeyer, Seymour Carpel, Ann Kiefer, Claire Kirschenbaum, Samuel Kruger, Donald Leibowitz, Idel Levenberg, William Levine, Aaron Lipton, Dr. Joanne Markman, Sanford Newman, Bella Olitsky, Marion Phillips, Jeanette J. Prestine, Jonathan Revan, Lila Robinson, Herman Rubel, Joseph Rubenstein, Fred Selker, Ricky Santel, Maurice Schachtel, Tassia Scher, Barbara Shilkret, Alan Bernard Siegel, Ben Smith, Nina Noon Springer, Mr. James P. Sweet, Donald Taylor, Harry Teitelbaum, Gerald Treisman, Rose Weinberg, Stacy Weiser, Robert Werner, Ruth Yellen, Erwin Zimmerman. If I have mispronounced a name, I apologize. I'm very sorry. If it is your custom to stand for the Kaddish, please do. If it is your custom not to stand, remain seated. As I always explain, I always stand. And the reason I always stand, as I've said before, is because I honor maybe unknowns who are among the 6 million who were butchered during the Holocaust, who never had anyone to say Kaddish for them. And I figure anytime I stand, it will probably go to good use for some soul that had no one to do that for them. So we are with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. And at this moment, I am going to call up a board member. Merit, would you do the honors? No. Somebody needs to read and I see bored people. So go ahead, my dear. Here we go.
B-O-A-R-D, right?
Not bored. No, even though, some of you looked ready to yawn, but nonetheless.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to Cantor Shula and our cantorial soloist, Kim Gubner, and our wonderful musicians, Carol Roman and Evan Wall, and all the voices that made this service so special. Join us tomorrow morning at 9:15 for our inspiring musical and all-women-led KISS service with guest speaker Dr. Johanna Noon. The service will be followed by lunch with entertainment. All details can be found on our website, but just a few things to note, a few other things, I guess, to note. Torah study is available via Zoom Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Our first Friday Shabbat festival is Friday, February 2nd, with food and fun for all ages. Mark your calendars for February 13th, when Dr. Bill Hoy will join us at 7 p.m. to discuss bereavement, dealing with loss, and caring for those in our community. And from March 6th to April 10th, in partnership with Vitas, our grief support group starts to help with those coping with loss. On March 23rd, this is way out there, I think. On March 23rd, our Purim extravaganza will include a children's costume parade, 2 Megillah readings, great food, and magic. Mark your calendars for the extravaganza again on March 23rd. Shabbat Shalom.
I actually would like to add one other thing to it, and that is that on February 9th, the Shabbat will have a special theme. It will be Refugee Shabbat. And we have a guest speaker. And you know that refugeeism is a very common and important and painful subject in our history from day one, pretty much. I guess from the minute we got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, we started to be refugees. So please come to that. We have a really, really good guest speaker. Looking forward to seeing you there as well. And here we have some chalot. Go ahead.
We have 2 chalot going out. One is going to Laguna Beach. Anybody going to Laguna Beach who might be able to take this challah?
This is a great mitzvah. You do that, you get brownie points with upstairs.
Thank you so much. The second one is going to Dana Point. Anybody gonna swing by Dana Point? Very cool. Thank you, William. Directions are on there for you, and there are
Thank you so much.
You can go either tonight or tomorrow. Just give them a call before.
We're doing the kiddush in here, right? And let's see. So, do we have people who can help us with the kiddush, or is it us?
Anybody else want to come up for kiddush motzi?
All right, Marcy, we'll do it. This is very fancy. Yes, it's almost like a jewelry piece. Shall we begin? Yes. Okay, I'll let you begin because I sing in the basement and you sing pretty. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים. Everyone, stand up. בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים לשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון And mini chalot. That's fine. That must mean good luck. If it doesn't, I just decided it does. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen. And with this, we have a closing song. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי
Shalom bin Ramah, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. 1, 2, 3, hey! Le 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 le. Hey,